Hello everyone and welcome back to TradeSmart. A few weeks ago I was wondering which entry signal indicator gives the most accurate buy and sell signals. So I asked you to share your favorite ones with me. In this video we are going to compare your suggestions and a few other indicators chosen by me to find the most profitable and accurate one. For this purpose, David or PineScript Coder made a highly customizable TradingView script which you can get access for free. With this script, I was able to backtest these indicators on over 1 million trades within just a few hours. This is by far the most complex backtest I have ever presented on this channel, so if you're interested in that, stay tuned. First, I will show you all the entry signal indicators and how to use them. Then, the way we are going to compare them using our new TradingView script. After that, I will show you the results of the 1 million trades and discuss some interesting facts. But before we get into it, we have made an Easter egg hunt for you. I hid 4 different eggs in the last 3 videos and in this video also. The eggs look something like this. So basically, you need to find the letters TS with a 4-digit number under it. If you found one, take a screenshot of it and send it us through email to tradesmart224@gmail.com. But what are the prizes? The person who finds an egg first will get 1 month access to all of our premium scripts optimizations and to the Discord server. The second and third person who find an egg will get 1 month access to one of our premium scripts chosen by him or her. Once an egg has been found by 3 persons, I will make a post here on YouTube to let you know that all the prizes were taken for that specific egg. With that said, happy Easter and let the hunt begin. And now back to the video. Let's start off with your entry signal indicator suggestions. The first indicator was suggested by Keith Sanchez and it is the Kyrie Relative Index. He specifically asked me to use the 89 period, so we are going to do that. He also asked me to test it on the 1 hour or the 4 hour chart, on GBP/JPY or the US 30 index. The next suggestion was Super Trend and Wave Trend by Wolfgang Staber. Moving on, AliAsaf suggested RSI and 50 EMA crossover. If you don't know what that means, don't worry, I will explain every entry signal indicator in detail. And the last suggestion was Chandelier Exit. So far, we got 5 different indicators. Now let's go over my picks. First of all, we can't leave out the classic MACD crossover from the list. The next one is the Heikin-Ashi candle color change. I know Heikin-Ashi is widely used for analyzing trend direction, so I had to put it on the list. Moving on, we will also test the SSL channel, the stochastic RSI and the parabolic SAR. These are also commonly used indicators for entries. Among the last few indicators, there is the QQE or Quantitative Qualitative Estimation and the DMI or Directional Movement Index. And finally, I look through the most popular TradingView indicators and choose one among those. So I choose the Squeeze Momentum indicator by Lazy Bear. There is one entry signal method what you might miss, and this is the moving average crossover. As I recently did a bigger comparison of the best moving average for crossover entries, I won't include it in this list. But you can find a link to that video down in the description, so feel free to check it out. Okay, we got all our entry signal indicators, 13 to be exact. So now let's go over what we will consider as the entry signal. First, we have the Kyrie Relative Index. So once you put it on your chart, it will look something like this. The rules are very simple. Next indicator is the Heikin-Ashi color change. For this one, we are going to use the Heikin-Ashi candle indicator. The rule is simple. Once the Heikin-Ashi candle turns green, we enter into a long position. For a short position, we wait for the Heikin-Ashi candles to turn from green to red. Next one is the Super Trend. Once a buy signal prints, we enter into a long position. Therefore, a sell signal will be our short entry signal. The fourth one is the Wave Trend. The Wave Trend has a green and red line. Whenever the green line crosses above the red line from below, a green dot will be printed. That dot is going to be our buy signal. For a short position, we need the green line to cross under the red line from above. Moving on, we have the RSI and 50 length EMA crossover. Once you have an RSI on your chart, you will see 2 lines. The purple one is the RSI and the yellow one is an RSI-based EMA, so it moves according to the RSI value. We are going to set this MA to EMA and its length to 50. So the entry criteria is really simple. If the RSI crosses above the yellow line, aka the 50 length EMA, we are going to enter into a long position. If the opposite happens, so the RSI crosses under the EMA, we are going to enter into a short position. The next entry signal indicator is the chandelier exit. The chandelier exit's design looks just like the super trend, so it will work the same. Buy signal means we are going to enter into a long position, and sell signal means a short entry. The seventh indicator is the MACD. The MACD is probably the most known indicator. Entry rules are simple. Long entry signal is when the blue line crosses above the orange line or the histogram turns from red to green. Short signal is the exact opposite. So when the orange line crosses the blue line from above or when the histogram turns from green to red. The next indicator is the SSL channel. This one consists of a red and a green line. Once the line switches positions, we have an entry signal. So if the green line gets above the red line, that means a long entry signal. And if the red line gets on top, that is a short entry signal. Moving on, we have the stochastic RSI. This is an indicator I used a few times for different strategy backtests. Once you apply it to your chart, you will also see a blue and an orange line. Entry rules are the same with the MACD. So if the blue line crosses the orange line from below, that is considered as a long entry signal. And if the blue line crosses the orange line from above, that is considered as a sell signal. The 11th indicator is the parabolic SAR. This indicator prints dots above and below the candles. If the dots start printing below the candle, that means a buy signal. Therefore, if the dots start printing above the candles, it is considered as a sell signal. We only have 3 indicators left, so hang on. The next one is the QQE, or the quantitative qualitative estimation. This indicator has 3 lines. The yellow one is the RSI index, the green one is the fast ATR RSI, and the red one is the slow ATR RSI. We are not going to use the RSI index, so untick the yellow line. Now we only have a red and a green line. Once the green line crosses above the red line, it means a buy signal. And whenever the green line crosses under the red line, that means a short entry signal. Moving on, we have the DMI, or the Directional Movement Index. If you apply this one to your chart, you will see 3 lines. The pink one is the ADX, but we won't need this one, so untick it. Under that you can find the positive DI colored blue and the negative DI colored orange. When the positive DI or the blue line crosses above the negative DI or the orange line, we have a long entry signal. If the opposite happens, so the blue line crosses below the orange line, we have a sell signal. And finally, let's see the squeeze momentum indicator by Lazy Bear. On the squeeze momentum indicator, you will see green and red bars. Once the bar color turns from red to green, that means a buy signal. And when the bars turn from green to red, that is going to be a sell signal. We went over all the 13 different entry signal indicators. Now let's see on which assets, timeframes, base risk, and risk-reward ratios we are going to use for the backtest. To make the competition as fair as possible, I am going to test the entry signal indicators on crypto, forex, and stocks. For crypto, I choose Bitcoin USDT pair and Algo USDT pair. For Forex, I choose the Euro USD pair and the suggested pair, the GBP JPY. For stocks, I was asked to try the US 30 index and I choose the Nvidia 2. Okay, so we have 6 different assets, that should be more than enough. Considering the time frames, I will use the 15-minute, the 30-minute and the 1-hour chart. For base risk, I choose the 1x ATR, 2x ATR, 3x ATR distance. And finally, for risk-to-reward ratio, I am going with the 1:1 and the 1:2. So the total number of different combinations I am going to try is 6 different assets times 3 time frames times 3 risk bases times 2 risk-to-reward ratios. That brings us to a total of 1404 different combinations. Now let me show you the script we made for this strategy. As usual, we made the free and the premium version also. If you want to get access to our highly customizable trading scripts with trading bot automatization, visit our Patreon page. To get access to the free version, you will find the link down in the description. That link will lead you to this script. Once you clicked on that link, you should be directed onto this page. Here you have to scroll down and click on the Add to Favorites button. Now you have the script listed in your favorites. I will use the premium version to show you some new options we just added to our scripts. Once you open up the script, you will see all the entry signal indicators listed, starting with the Heikin-Ashi and ending with the QQE, or the quantitative qualitative estimation. In this section, you can customize every indicator setting. You can also see a little box next to each indicator. If you want to use, let's say, the wave trend as your entry signal indicator, you just have to tick that box next to it. With these boxes, we also made possible to use 2 or more entry signal indicator at the same time. So let's say we want to use the Heikin-Ashi and the wave trend as our entry signal indicator. To be able to do that, you have to tick both of the boxes next to the indicators. If you've done that, that means that the strategy will only enter into a position if both the Heikin-Ashi and the wave trend prints an entry signal on the same candle. But let me show you. So I put the Heikin-Ashi candle indicator and the wave trend on the chart. As you can see, here we got a short entry signal on the wave trend, but the Heikin-Ashi is still printing green candles. So, as the 2 entry signals were not printed on the same candle, the script won't enter into any position. But if you take a look at this candle, you can see that both the Heikin-Ashi and the wave trend gave a short entry signal, so the script will consider this as a valid entry point. Okay, but what if you want the script to enter into a position even if the 2 entry signals were printed with a few candles differences? For this purpose, you can use the next section, which is the entry signal tolerance. Let me show you an example. So let's say first we got a short entry signal on the Heikin-Ashi, and only 2 candles later the wave trend also printed a short entry signal. If I want the script to still enter into a short position despite the 2 candle difference, first I have to tick this box to enable the use of tolerances. After that, as the Heikin-Ashi was the first signal, I have to change the Heikin-Ashi lookback value to 2. This way, the strategy will enter into a position even if the wave trend gives an entry signal 2 candles later. As you can see, you can set this tolerance for every different entry signal indicator separately. This option can be useful if you want to combine the best entry signal indicators to achieve a higher probability of winning the trade. Moving on, in the next section you can set your exit strategy. Here you can find some new features which we just added to our premium scripts. Here you can choose from using an ATR-based stop loss, which is what I will use for this backtest, or you can choose to use the candle low high based stop loss. This one is basically what is usually mentioned as a swing low or swing high based stop loss. This is just an objective version of it. So basically, if you choose to use this one, and let's say you set its value to 10, then in case of a long position, the stop loss will be placed at the lowest wick within the last 10 candles. You can also use a percentage-based stop loss, which means that the stop loss will be placed to a set percentage distance from the entry price. And finally, you can choose a set pip distance-based stop loss. This is commonly used among the forex traders. Below the pip-based stop loss, you can set the preferred risk-to-reward ratio and risk base. In the next section, you can also set a trailing stop loss if you want to use one. Moving on, you can find the trade setup section. Here you can also find a few new options. The first added option is the ability to set either cash-based, contract-based, capital percentage-based, or risk percentage-based position sizing. Another new function here is to eliminate taking trades where the commission is higher than the set percentage of the estimated profit. So for example, let's say you are using a 0.1% commission fee. Probably you don't want to enter if this commission is over 10% of the estimated profit. In this case, you have to set the commission percentage to 0.1 and the profit percentage value to 10. This function is very useful when you try to trade on lower time frames like the 5-minute chart, as here the commissions have a higher effect on your net profit. In the next sections, you can find different filters like trend filters, Keltner channel limiter, ADX limiter, and so on. I won't explain how these filters work, as I already did in the 3rd script release video. So if you want to know about those functions, check out the 3rd script release video, linked down in the description. And now let me show you how I am going to test the entry signal indicators. After I set up the correct parameters in the script, I will click on the strategy tester. Then I will go into the performance summary and scroll down until I find the number of winning and losing trades. Here you can see how many trades were winners and how many were losers. After that, I copy these two values into an Excel sheet. In this Excel sheet, everything that I need to know will be calculated automatically, such as the net profit, the profit factor, win rate, and so on. I will share the final Excel sheet where you can find all of the different backtests down in the description. Finally, to have a fair comparison between the different combinations, I projected the total net profit to net profit after 100 trades. This way, no matter how many trades were taken on a specific backtest, depending on the win rate, the total net profit will be converted into net profit after 100 trades. And now let's see the backtest.
Seven hours later.
And the results are in. If you want to see more in-depth backtesting videos like this, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of my upcoming videos. After more than 1 million backtests, the absolute top 3 results, according to net profit after 100 trades, was MACD with 25% net profit, the runner-up is the super trend with 21.78% net profit, and the third place winner is the Kyrie Relative Index with 21.66% net profit. But of course, it's not ideal to base the final results on only the top 3 results. So I added together the total net profit after 100 trades by different entry signal indicators. So now I am going to show you which indicators are the best ones based on all of the trades. Then I will show you which indicator performed the best on different assets, and finally on different time frames. Here you can see the results. So after adding together all the results of each entry signal indicator, the first place winner with 150% net gain was the Kyrie Relative Index. The second place winner was the super trend, and the third place goes to the squeeze momentum indicator by Lazy Bear. The last indicator, which was still profitable considering all of its backtests, was the stochastic RSI with 26% gain on the account. All the other entry signal indicators produced losses after adding together all of their backtests. Here I have to mention that a few videos ago, when I backtested different moving averages to find the best moving average for a simple crossover strategy, the best results was achieved with the SMMA on the SPX with 39% net profit after 100 trades. So technically that was the best performing entry signal indicator. But as we did not test any of the entry signal indicators on the SPX, it is not fair to take the SMMA result into consideration. And now, let's see which indicator performed the best on different assets. Here you can see the top 3 best entry signal indicator for each asset. I based my ranking on the top 10 results I found for each asset. On Bitcoin and the US30, the Kyrie Relative Index was the best one. On the Algo USDT and the GBP JPY, the squeeze momentum indicator gave the best results. On Euro USD, the super trend was the best one, and on Nvidia, the MACD. Throughout this table, you can see the Kyrie Relative Index and the super trend the most. So in my opinion, those are the top 2 indicators for entry signals. Now let's see the entry signal indicators' performance on different time frames. Here, I base my ranking on the top 20 results I found on each time frame. On the 15-minute and the 1-hour chart, the Kyrie was the best one. On the 30-minute time frame, the super trend is the winner. Based on these results, I will use the Kyrie Relative Index on the 15-minute or the 1-hour chart, on Bitcoin or on the US30 index. And finally, let's see some bonus stats I found interesting. I was interested in which asset gave the most profit, which time frame was the most reliable, and what risk base / risk to reward ratio is the best to use based on their overall results. After collecting the data, the best asset which yielded the most profit was Nvidia, which is not surprising as stocks like this can have very nice trending moves. The best time frame which produced the most profit was the 30-minute chart. And the best base risk / risk to reward ratio combination was the 2 times ATR base risk with a 1:2 risk to reward ratio. I was also curious of which indicator gives the most and least signals. So after going through all the 13 different entry signal indicator, I found that the stochastic RSI gave the most signals and the Kyrie Relative Index gave the least signals. And that wraps up today's video. If you think I missed a good entry signal indicator, share it with me down in the comment section. For premium scripts, automatizations and Discord membership, check out our Patreon and become a member of the TradeSmart community today. And with that said, thank you all for watching, have an amazing day, and see you in the next video.